What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back. Today might be Master Toy Museum. I'll be a curator today. Guys, hanging out here in the museum, doing some cleaning. I was checking out some things, some inventory, and it got me to thinking. It really got me to thinking. A question that was posed to me by a viewer that was checking out some of our videos here at the channel. And the question was, why do I collect? Why do I call what I do toy history here at the museum? Fair enough question. And my response to this viewer was basically, it's because you're going to see things here at the channel, at our museum, that will remind you of some very fond memories that you had as a kid growing up, or just a toy that you remember. But I want to take it one step further than that, guys. I want to talk about toys of the past, toy lines of the past. Really cool toy lines that were here today and gone tomorrow. Everything from G.I. Joe to Hasbro's signature series, Marvel signature series, to Hasbro's Monsters, Universal Monsters signature series, to this fantastic Sergeant Rock. And this was, I believe this is from Dreamscape. Dreams and Visions. I'm sorry. Toy lines that were really hot when they came out. Extremely collectible, to being history. Just that, history. A thing of the past. How many times have we said we would love to see G.I. Joe again at the 12-inch scale, sitting on toy store shelves? How many times have we said that? How many times did you think that? We want to hear all that, guys. The cool thing about our museum, and the cool thing about me being here, checking things out and cleaning up all the time, is that I get to reminisce about how cool these toy lines were when they were out. How awesome these toy lines were. How much fun they were to collect. The Marvel famous cover series was one of the coolest toy lines in the early 2000s and the late 1990s to collect. I mean, from the box art to the figures themselves, they were a real treat to collect. Let me see if I can open this guy for you. Try to be real careful with these things now. They are museum pieces. They are historical pieces, if you will, of toy history. How cool is this guy? Looking at a figure that's basically over 20 years old now, I believe. A super fun toy line. The Marvel Famous Cover Series. And we have more. We have more, and we're going to show you a little bit more. But these are some of the ones that really just grabbed my attention and got me to thinking about, how I would really love to see Hasbro bring back the Universal Studios Monster Series. 12-inch monsters. Maybe they could make them more articulate, more points of articulation. Who knows? But it's something that I love to think about on a daily basis as a toy collector, as a museum historian. The Marvel Signature Series, one of my favorite toy lines, one of my favorite superheroes, Spider-Man. This is a question that collectors are constantly talking about and asking, especially where Mego is concerned. Will we ever see Mego produce Marvel superheroes, Marvel villains? Will we see that? The short answer is probably no. I would like to think at some point, though, that answer could be more closer to a maybe. Because we're seeing some great things from Mego, but we're not seeing Marvel superheroes. I'm a Marvel guy. I grew up looking at Marvel comics, playing with Mego Marvel superheroes like the Hulk, Spider-Man, Captain America, the Falcon, you name it. The Fantastic Four. Gone are those days. And gone are the days of the Hasbro's Marvel Signature Series. But still here on display for your viewing pleasure at the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. Guys, it's just so much fun reminiscing. Really wishing and hoping, dreaming. That's the inner child in me when I come down here to the museum and I see a lot of these old toy lines from yesteryear. This particular G.I. Joe, my Navy deep sea diver. Very difficult to obtain now, very hard to find. But I remember when this figure was on toy store shelves and he was readily available. I think when I purchased this particular one, there were 20 of them just like it on the toy store shelf. Gone are those days. But not the memories. I remember exactly where I was, what I was doing when I purchased this figure. Years and years ago. This figure is nearly 20 years old. Nearly. Would I like to see Hasbro resurrect and breathe life back into the 12-inch G.I. Joe action figure? Absolutely. I think G.I. Joe fans around the world would go absolutely crazy with excitement if they knew that Hasbro was releasing brand new 12-inch G.I. Joe figures. I mean, who wouldn't? Even a casual collector, okay, knows about G.I. Joe. A casual collector. But guys, we have more toy lines that we want to talk about. I have a few more I just want to bring on a stage. So just hold on 1 second. We'll be right back in half of a second. And we are back. Another cool toy line Hasbro brought out in the early 2000s for Star Wars. The 12-inch figures. My Attack of the Clones Jango Fett with missile launching backpack. I remember seeing this at, I believe, a Target years and years and years ago when it first came out. And how cool this figure looked. And how much detail that Hasbro put in designing these figures. With all the extra weaponry and accessories. Let me just see if I can. Absolutely fantastic. This is what toys should be. You know, more bang for your buck. Okay. Toys should be exciting. They should be fun. All of those things. Collectible. And that's what I think about when I see my Star Wars Jango Fett Attack of the Clones figure. Super fun. Super collectible now. But this is the toys that we had nearly 20 years ago. Can you imagine? And I'm aging myself, but if, you know, being growing up in the 1970s as a kid, could you imagine seeing this on a toy store shelf in the 1970s? How cool that would be. I know we're messing with the time continuum because it's the Attack of the Clones, so we would have to go back to 77, right? When Star Wars first came out. So it'd be more like this, unlike this. But you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. How much fun would that be, seeing this toy line again? How cool that would be. Is it so much to ask these toy companies to really just reinvest, look at what was really popular back then and apply it now? Action figures with cloth goods has always been highly collectible and highly desirable. Always. Ever since I was a kid in the 1970s. And this is super exciting, super collectible. And I didn't even forget, in the early 1990s, 91, 92, when G.I. Joe was just first making its comeback after decades of hibernation, if you will. You want to talk about a knockoff. This is one of the coolest knockoff toy lines that I can remember, especially in the 12-inch action figure form. The Rapid Deployment Force toy line, action figure toy line. G.I. Joe's somewhat of a rival back then in the early 1990s. Everybody was capitalizing off of G.I. Joe's success, return success with the Target Duke figure. And this was an attempt, and we're going to find out the toy maker here. Let's find out who actually made this toy line. As you can see, it's a beautiful box. Collect them all, right? Something about a collect them all listing that always got me excited as a toy collector, because you really want to get all of them. 1992, In Time Products Company Limited. In Time Products Company. IT. For the Rapid Deployment Force. 1992. A toy line that was here today and gone tomorrow. And this is our Airborne Ranger figure, decked out in all of his camo, all of his weapons, accessories. Yes, did the weaponry look cartoonish? Not a ton of detail or not too many points of articulation on this figure. But that was the charm of this toy line back in 1992. That was the fun. Toy lines that were here today and gone tomorrow. Toy lines that I wish, as I'm sure a lot of you guys out there as collectors wish were still around today. Let me see, I have another cool one here. Star Trek by Playmates. The Gold Ducat figure, one of my favorite figures from this toy line. You know, what's so cool about the way I collect as an M.I.B. collector, as a museum historian, a toy historian, is that you never run out of material for doing videos, especially this figure's early 2000s. And I can assure you somebody's going to see this video and see this figure, and it's going to bring back a ton of memories. And it's going to spark a ton of fun toy conversations about this figure, about this toy line. And that's what the message I really was trying to send and convey to the viewer that asked me about, why do I use the term toy history a lot with my museum. Guys, we are a museum of toy history. We're preserving, if you will, the very essence of toy history through the packaging, through these figures, accessories, outfits, you name it. What toys look like 20 years ago as opposed to what a toy looks like today. Your thoughts, guys, on this hot topic, on this video, on this discussion. We want to hear some of your toy memories of some of these action figures. What toy lines would you like to see these toy companies bring back? What toy lines deserve to come back? I know there are some that you guys would never want to see again, but what are some of the toy lines that you would love to see again? So you can start the whole process of those fantastic memories and the excitement of collecting these toys all over again. We want to hear all that, guys. Guys, more fun on the way. You know the routine. God bless. Stay safe. And keep collecting.